Can you imagine just being that demon dog lord just watching as his, well, what's his bodyguard and elite? I'm getting chopped in half.
And we're done.
Anyway, as you slay the last of these golden-winged horrors, their torn bodies dissolve into a hot, steamy vapor, which is carried away on a foul breeze. The few larvas that remain with Tagazin have been seen what has befallen their comrades, now abandon the Demonlord to his fate. Tagazin curses their apparent cowardice as they take to the air and speed away. For a moment,
that's actually one of the first time our enemies have been smart enough to do that.
Yep. For a moment you stare at the Demonlord and he returns your gaze. His bitter hatred of you burns brightly in his supernatural eyes. Then he turns and drives himself on towards the Shadow Gate. You give chase, determined to stop him, but you slow your pace when suddenly you see a white rent appear in the sky high above. Through a tear in the clouds, you see a new host of lavas come swooping down. Do you wish to use Hunt Mastery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Using your advanced mastery, you magnify your vision in order to see better the new enemy that is ascending towards you from out of the sky. As the image grows larger, you see that the leading lavas is holding an item which radiates an intense aura of evil power. At a distance, it appears to be a large metal bowl with a sharp spear of crystal fixed to its underside. Unsure of its purpose, you hazard a guess that it's some kind of weapon that the lava's leader intends to use against you. Driven by fear, you increase your own pace, determined more than ever now to reach the Shadow Gate before either Tagazin or his new wave of helpers can stop you. To your dismay, the descending wave of lavas reach the Demonlord before you and form up in a protective circle around his ice-sheen body. Those that remain in the sky beat the air with their mighty wings, causing a powerful downdraft which holds you at bay. Shielding your eyes from the stinging, dust-choked wind, you look up and see that the lava's leader is cradling the cursed spiked metal bowl in his horny hands. I just read that, didn't I?
You did read that, seriously. Hands do not have so much horns as opposed to spikes, if I'm not mistaken.
Nonetheless, he's fondling the spiked metal bowl with his horny hands. He descends towards Tagazin and inverts it, and suddenly realizes its true purpose and design. It is a helm of power, affixed on top with a crystal spike. The lava's placed the helm upon the Demonlord's head, and the spike begins to glow menacingly. Now
the dog has a candle on its head.
Sorry, I do not mean to offend anyone, but I'm just reminded of those German helmets that has a large spike on their head, well, top. So the dog is running around with a ridiculous hat, and it apparently can help him in this situation. But there is no such thing to be gained from that utter humiliation of a dog with a hat.
Yeah.
Either that or one or a hat with a candle on top. Or
yeah.
You no take the candle.
Indeed, you know, take candle, at least not from that one.
Now all of the lavas ascend into the sky where they wait to view a confrontation which is about to commence. Suddenly Tagazin, revitalized by the power of the spiked helm, comes charging at you with his head lowered, snorting gruffly like a maddened bull. Roll the die, and add 3 for having Hunt Mastery and Partnership.
Okie dokie.
Hmm.
6.
Your lightning fast reaction saved you from being run through by the spiked helm. Tagazin goes charging past, but as you and spring to your feet, you see he has already turned around and is now bearing down on you for a second time. You're now fighting Demonlord Tagazin, armed with a power helm. And he's still immune to your basic psychic attacks, so it's back to...
And he has gotten even sillier.
I'm just wondering if it's like an antenna and the light sort of fades in and out while it's going beep, 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 beep.
The guy's trying to be very threatening right now. Try to take him a bit serious.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah. Roll the die and see how funny it is when he gouges out your eyeballs or something.
I'll be more afraid of my stomach.
Right.
Whatever. 3 again.
Alright. The guy lunges forwards and with a mighty swing of his new hat, stabs you in the dick. You lose 5 endurance points.
So what's his voices again?
No. But you do manage to kick him through the insane cloud of pain descending upon your head.
Seriously, I need to be honest to you.
getting something sharp to your, well, penis, I think is pretty damn hurtful. And trust me, I've had my dick stuck in a pole at one time, and it hurt.
How the fuck did that happen?
How about we get back to kicking the demon dog, rather than talking about Rana's genitals? Seriously, not interested.
It was an accident, goddammit. It was just because I was not careful. I had to wait to lift something up. You know what a pole is, right?
Yes! And I really don't give a damn about your dick getting squashed while on work! Why would I care?
Because I thought it was related.
Look, I don't care what you stick your dick in, just don't tell me about it, okay? I don't care. Experiment all you want. Just remember the golden rule of that does not go there.
I'm pretty well aware of that. But now let us continue. Well, what did I say? I mean, continue.
Okay, total tangent, but I actually have a picture of a dog wearing one of those helmets Ron is talking about.
You do, just for your information, the only reason that the viewers did not just get all your names is because that thing popped up outside the camera.
Huh.
You do realize it pops up whenever you post something, right, in Skype? Like down in the corner?
Oh.
Just saying, your privacy almost got compromised. In any case,
oh dear.
Roll the die.
Oh, okay. Rolling 9.
Right. Completely infuriated, you launch an all-out attack at the dog, who, despite his ridiculous but powerful helmet, is completely incapable of defending himself against your brutal onslaught as you roar like a madman and decide to finish him off once and for all. It does not finish him off once and for all, sadly, but you do manage to wound him gravely in the process.
Roll it out again. Well, only 6 this time.
Right. Infuriated, Tagazin decides to return the favor and jabs you in the shoulder with his ridiculous but powerful hat. You take the opportunity now that he's close to try to choke him to death. It seems reasonably effective. You lose 5 endurance points.
Okay, that leaves us down to 5, to be honest.
No, wait, you lose 4 endurance points, and he loses. Yeah, okay, sorry. You just lost 4.
So we're basically pulling a useless with, you know, the whole trying to choke that dog or whatever the fuck it was.
Well, maybe it helps with a 10.
Right, you grab him by his ridiculous health and use it to beat him into the floor over and over again. And then you launch him like a javelin into a wall. Robert again.
Does this scene seem familiar?
I don't know.
Cutie demon.
Anywho, 6.
Right. The now thoroughly embarrassed Demonlord manages to pull himself from the wall and charges at you, howling madly, and stabs out against you. You return the favor and stab against him. You are stabbing each other. Lots of stabbing are occurring. All the stabbing is occurring. You lose 4 life.
Okay, this is not good. This is seriously not good. We're down to 2.
Better pray that Kevin can roll high now, because if he damages you, he can't damage you less than 2.
10.
Like that, for example. Yes. You launch your attack and hit him with a powerful blow that sends him skidding across the floor. Growling, he rises. He gets ready to attack once more. This is the final strike. Let's see.
This guy just does not quit.
Either you die or he dies now. All or nothing. Give it all you got. Roll the die!
Wow.
8.
Wow.
So what happens?
Well, he launches himself at you and you hit him with a sword and send him flying. He's wounded, he's weak, he's down to 1 life.
Huh.
So, this is the final strike.
It's the final countdown. Or count
So
up,
rough.
actually. Seeing as I just landed on 9.
Right, he rushes at you, you rushes at him, you charge one another, you prepare your weapons, you get ready to fight. He launches himself, you dodge under the sharp spike of his ridiculous hat, and as you slide beneath him, you stab your blade upwards, and his momentum carries him forward, so you carve open his belly like a Thanksgiving turkey. The audience goes wild.
Well, technically, a turkey is typically clean through its ass. But there you go.
I was kind of hoping you were going to say that we cut his head off.
At the instant you strike Tagazin the killing blow, his body shatters into a million frozen pieces, which cascades to the ground. The spiked helm drops on top of his pile of smashed remains, crowning them as if it were a marker fashioned for the Demonlord's grave.
Yeah.
You look skyward to see the second wave of lava wheeling away in shocked disarray. They are visibly stunned by your unexpected victory, and they flee to the safety of the clouds, fearful of tempting the fate that has befallen Tagazin. The sun sword begins to glow and becomes warm in your hand. The blade points of its own accord towards the spiked helmet, and at once you sense that it's prompting you to destroy the evil artifact. Obediently obey its silent request. You raise the sun sword and bring it crashing down on the helm, splitting it asunder. There's a violent splash of hissing sparks, and when the sparks dissipate, you see that no trace of the helm remains. It has been utterly destroyed. Nothing that tacky could be allowed to exist.
Well, I need to be honest. Whoever forged the holy Summersved, sometimes I just get curious who put so much power in it.
Purposefully, you turn and walk towards the Shadow Gate. As you leap into its spinning core, you pray that you will arrive back on Magnamund in time to thwart the Death Lord's evil plan, which means also that you go back to the 51 combat skill. The howling winds of the void rip at your face and clothing as you plummet into the core of the lightless abyss. You lose all sense of time until, in the remote distance, you see tiny motes of light come streaking towards your face. Then, as suddenly as it began, the sensation of falling through deep space is replaced by a abrupt cessation of movement. Stunned and disoriented, you shake your head and rise uneasily to your feet. As your blurred vision clears, you see that you have returned to the chamber of the Crystal Spire, from where you were first sent, tumbling into the Shadow Gate.
But that makes no sense. We walked around for hours.
Yep.
And now we're just back in the same spot. What, did we just walk around in a circle?
Yep.
I really do not know.
Shadow Gates moves in mysterious ways.
Indeed, indeed.
But always plot convenience.
It is empty now. Fearing the worst, use your Kai skills to determine the time and the date. To your immediate relief, you discover that only a few hours have elapsed during your absence from Magnamund. It is still possible for you to achieve your quest. You resolve to find the Death Lord, even if it means searching every chamber of the Crystal Spire. You turn to leave this hall, but a noise behind you makes you freeze in your tracks. The sudden stench of decay and corruption tells you that you may not have to look too far to find your adversary after all. You spin around to see a circular section of the floor disappearing. At the center of this gaping hole, there rises a plinth in which stands the awesome figure of Deathlord Ixiatoga. Jets of flame encircle his robed form, shooting up from the moat which now separates the plinth from the floor of the chamber. The clawing stench of decay is overwhelming. As you reel backwards, you see the Deathlord raising the Death Staff that hums with the terrible power held precariously within its haft. A ghastly laugh issues from his goat skull face as he levels the evil weapon and directs its tip towards your heart.